that I know and trust and is always known to be a person who does what he says he's going to do.
Wow.
At least we know at this point that it is not going to be unheard or unseen. I will let you know if there are any developments. We go.
So you got somebody pulling for you that has a little bit of clout, in a sense of at least getting some people. And you know what? I hope anyone. And by the way, can I record this and play it when you tell me, or no? Can I record something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Very cool. When do you want me to play it? After this happens, so we don't blow the caper?
Honestly, it makes no difference, none whatsoever.
I got to learn that about you, Jason. You're like, whatever you throw out there, it's like it's in the air, it's in the universe. You just let it rock.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people that I believe in transparency and disclosure, and as things happen in real time, I like the world to be aware as I'm aware. I think it's a cool thing. So basically, what happened was she literally, bro, she was in church one day, and she is a walker, and she walks in the morning and listens to podcasts, and she had listened to a podcast that was my story, my case, and she recounted to me that God told her that she should help me get out of prison. She felt divinely inspired to do so. So she had no idea by what means or channel or what in any way she could be in effect on my life. So she wrote a letter and stated as much, and I responded, and she set up email and phone, and we got to talking, and 3 or 4 or 5 days after this, divine inspiration, she said it just hit her like a ton of bricks. One of her prior business partners was married to a 3-star general up here in the state of Alaska.
Okay.
And so she just sort of called her girlfriend to kind of run it by her and see what she felt about the case in general. And her girlfriend responded, "Oh, well, that's really interesting because my sister is the liaison to the governor's office for Fairbanks." So
wow, man, that's awesome. So
within a couple of degrees of connection, she realized that she has somebody who has the governor's ear, certainly his desk, once a month or twice a month or something like that. So anyway, following that path, it appears as though my commutation request with some supporting documents, certificates, letters, things like that, is going to be sitting on his desk on Friday, and he will be there to check it out. So that's cool.
It's amazing, brother. I mean, I don't know really how do you get here? I mean, you've gotten so far in such a short amount of time. And again, Jason, your story, it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
And think about this part of it where you just reached out to by this person. That's kind of freaky, right? You're behind the closed doors, and you probably think, I mean, most people in those situations incarcerated, they don't think anyone's even paying attention to them, bro.
Yep. Well, and it is true, and I suppose, what's interesting is that...
you mean for the average mere mortal inmate. You're not the average. I get it. I know what you're going to say.
Right. Well...
You go right. I like the guy. You're very cool. Right, Kevin.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. But I do have some redeeming qualities. They seem to be emerging later in life. So I'm glad about that.
Love it. Yeah, man.
But I was going to tell you that being the person who, in recounting my path and some of the places I've gone and where I've ended up, I used to tell people that I was under the dominion of an officiating angel, and that I was guided by an angel who basically, the big homie, told me where to go and where to be at certain times and places. And I followed that. I called it my internal compass, and I followed it where it guided me a number of times. And it was proven to be correct so many times in so many different states and so many different places where some heavy lifting was needed, and I happened to be guided there to do so. That when somebody else reaches out and says God or an angel or they were divinely inspired to do something, I am literally like, yep, I know. Yep, I know. That's exactly how it works. And,
what would you say? What would you say? Because I am recording this, and you bring in a great. Now I'm in interview mode, not Jason's friend mode, because that's usually how we are.
Sure.
What would you say to people that don't believe in that kind of spiritual really awakening that's taking. I know it's taking place, but you're feeling it behind the walls, and you're you know, what's your thoughts on how you could tell people how that might be happening?
What I would say is I am a simple man and I am a rational guy. At least I have become so. And I used to justify my belief by telling people I use deductive reasoning and I analyze empirical evidence, and that's how I know what is or is not true. And bro, I'm telling you, time and again, when I would knock on the door and inside would be a couple of sisters who were already drunk and they were 12 years old, and it was that exact moment that someone needed to show up and intercede. Or I ended up in strange towns in very, very dark places, and at that exact moment, I needed to show up and intercede on behalf of some kids who didn't know I was coming, and I didn't consciously know they were there.
Did you ever think in your head in some way, did you justify some way that you were kind of, and I'm not being weird, like a superhero to these victims?
What I believed at that time and what I believe to this very day is that a person can receive a divine commission, and when you do so and you follow it, what I have learned through experience is that it costs you personally every single time. Like, bro, I've been arrested, shot, stabbed, I've lost homes, et cetera, et cetera. It's sacrifice. But at the same time, I will also tell you that I have had such profound moments of grace and blessing when somebody looks up at you and just the look on their face. For instance, pulling up outside of an Aryan compound in the middle of the night in Hayden Lake, Idaho, the look on the 15-year-old girl's face when she saw me skid to a stop outside the fence was absolute shock and terror, and then complete unmitigated joy. She could not believe that somehow, some way, someone had materialized at that exact moment to get her the fuck out of there.
It's almost like It's almost like Taken. You know, it's almost like you have that mentality. I don't know if you know the movie I'm referring to, but Taken, the movie. It's weird. You really have that skill.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Probably with a lot less martial arts abilities.
Yeah, you're just a brute. You're a brute. You're basically like a Brutus, yeah. Right? Like just. Yeah. Hey, listen, Jason. I want to ask you another thing though, because the greatest part about your story is that we're talking about it right now. Like I imagine if I talked to you about this 20 years ago or when you were 17, it would have been a different Jason. What is it that you get from people that have known you your whole life? I know you might have limited contact. We talked about it with your brother and other people. Somebody has to have known you. What do they say now about who you are compared to what you used to be?
Man, you know what's interesting is I literally when I was a young man, there were some people that owned a large set of acreage, a farm property kind of behind the fairgrounds, and I used to climb out my window and escape from the people that were molesting me when I was a little kid and hang out on this farm. And the uncle who was on that farm, his name is Grant, he is now probably 65 or 70 years old, and bro, I was just thinking what an amazing place that was to escape to. And I was in the gym working out with a couple of youngsters yesterday, and I turn around and see this little old man with a shaved head walking in the gym, and I was like, no way! It's Grant. I've not seen this guy in 20 years.
What was he doing in jail? What was he coming in jail for?
He's here on a DUI.
Okay.
And he's just a good old guy, and he looked at me and he said, I've seen you for a couple of days. He's like, but I cannot believe it's you, bro. You look so different. And
that's
I'm like,
crazy, dude. That's crazy. How many years was that?
I look different. Yeah, what do you mean? I look different. He's like, you're covered in tattoos and muscles. And I was like, oh, okay, wow, I didn't know. Yeah. But anyway, I would say my heart and my spirit has remained the same my entire life. But what has changed and what was amazing is, bro, let me tell you right now, any story you read in the Bible that pertains to, they looked in the furnace and there was an extra person in there, it was an angel. Let me tell you right now that God and energetic beings that work on his behalf, it is 100% real and true and correct. And I'm telling you, it does not matter what a person's opinion is. You can just walk out and live it, and experience will teach you what is real and true and correct about this life. And I'm telling you, the other thing, too, is that if you accept commissions on behalf of others, which typically cost a lot and they pay nothing, the benefit later on in your life is the knowledge of that experience and the ownership of that experience. And, bro, some of them are priceless. I'm telling you, priceless.
Love the fact the way you keep it positive, Jason. I appreciate and I was just talking to you just the other day. I'm like, yeah, and I was telling you that they know who you are, and of course, celebrity. And I'm like, yeah, started off talking to him, and like I think we call each other friends now, which is a pretty cool thing to say. It's a cool journey. Thank you, thank you for letting me be a part of it.
Yeah, of course. No, thank you. Shit, are you kidding me? I tell you right now. No, I'm just a little old speck of dust out here floating around in the bottom of the muddy water. But I will tell you this: that one of the keys and signs of your character is this: you had the ability to spot some of that real untrammeled gold, which is out here in the muddy water. And that's what prison and this experience is, bro. And there's a couple of us out here still in the mud, and when the time comes that I'm able to come out, you'll see, the evidence of what I've worked for. And it's been a lot of effort and a lot of time, but I have suffered well. I assure you of that, and I intend to share that experiential knowledge with anybody that'll pay attention once I get out.
So, Jason, people can find you're on what platforms are you on?
I think, if I'm not mistaken, obviously there's a Facebook.
Hey, isn't it stupid? I'm asking the guy that's incarcerated what platforms you are. And you're like, I'm like, you should know.
I was going to say, I haven't seen the internet in almost 10 years, to be honest with you. But
okay.
If I'm not mistaken, if you just search for free Jason Vukovich, my sister's got the platforms and they pop up. Mm-hmm. Instagram, I think she's on TikTok too, for sure.
Yeah, that's where I think I met her. I saw her posting about you and talking, and I reached out to your sister. Next thing you know, I'm like, hey, can we get Jason on? And then it went from, whatever to more of us talking. It's crazy. Yep. It really is part of that Christian move that I've made for myself. I've shared with you, Jason, has been definitely you connecting to me too. So I want to thank you for being a friend to me.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. And vice versa. And the thing is, I cannot see outside of these walls easily, but I will tell you once again, my internal compass tells me that you and I will do a couple of things greater than ourselves, hopefully in conjunction with some other people too, once I'm able to get out of this monastery, and I'm excited for that day, bro.
Me too. Me too. I can't wait to see. It's going to be awesome stuff, my dude. Jason, so you know what? I kind of feel like I'd like to get on a call with you about collaborating. Can you call me back tomorrow or the next day? I don't mean to blow you off, but I'm just trying to set up my studio. I want to start dropping these things and try to give you direction, like people donate, whatever, kind of start talking like that.
Wonderful.
All right?
Yeah, that would be wonderful.
Let me drive some money, because I know I want to help you out, brother, okay? And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Give me a hold.
I appreciate it.
All right, brother.
Thanks,
Later,
bro.
brother. Say it, bud.
Love you, man.
Love you too, bud.
The caller has hung up.
And there you go. I don't know what else to say, but that's it. I'm so excited about talking to Jason. Did I say I love you? I did say I love you to Jason because I do love Jason's spirit. Here's a guy that was molested by this evilness that the court system in Alaska actually found his stepfather guilty. The church community protected this man, and at 8 years old, Jason was forced to testify against his stepdad in the same courtroom that he was convicted in for going out and beating up pedophiles. Now, I don't justify, he wouldn't justify, no one's patting him on the back. It's wrong for what he did. We all know it is. But gosh darn it, this is a kid who was 8 years old. 8 years old and was a victim, and then the state of Alaska threw him back out there in that family. Because this is the kicker, folks. The day that Jason watched his stepdad get convicted is the day that judge let that stepdad go back to his house. That's right. Go back to his house and see all these. That's where he went back to. The same place he was getting molested and raped at. He was sent back by the judge, by the system in Alaska. And you got to ask yourself, I mean, why? Why would anyone in their right mind do that? I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Crazy. All right, I don't know if I got this, so let's just shut that off.